so glad you asked that. I will tell you a story about a lady who lived just below MGM Studios, where Sony Pictures is today. And during World War II, so this was before me, but it was just before me, she was the block captain because her husband was away at war. And so she was the lady everybody would go to if they needed anything, and she would alert other people. She was inside her house one day, and there was a knock at the door. And she went to the door to answer it, and she opened the door to see this man who she had seen someplace before. As it turns out, the man said to her, the very nice man said to her, "Ma'am, I think your little girl is stuck up on the apparatus at your gate. Would you like me to get her down?" And he said, "I didn't want to do it without checking with you." And so she said, "Oh, yes, please." Her husband was away. She was alone. This little kid is 3 years old, maybe, and she's up on top of this thing. So he gets her down and he brings her over, and he hands her off, and everything is fine. From that time on, basically, she would go out, this little girl, and she would sit outside and watch for him because he was just such a nice man. So, the answer to your question basically is the fellow who had parked in the neighborhood on Le Bourget, just below Culver Boulevard, before Braddock, was Rhett Butler, if you saw him in a movie.
Wow.
And so he would come by and she would wave to him every day. He was basically trying to not have to park on the lot or not have to enter into the lot because they had all the people there waiting for autographs. And so if he needed to get on the lot, he needed to move a little faster. But just a very sweet person, Clark Gable. I think you've got the answer to that just right. It's definitely yes.